So in today's video, I will be speaking about why Mafia the Old Country will be a love story. Now, I'm not saying the whole game is just going to be some love fest, but the main underlining theme and message about this game will be about love. Now, the reason I say that is because of the trailer that just got released, the recent trailer for Mafia the Old Country. Now, in this new trailer, you hear the Don Torresi keep mentioning family. He mentions the word family a lot, and it seems to be the highlighted point of this trailer. So you can already see from the offset that the Don is really high on loyalty, like how all the previous bosses were, like Salieri in the original Mafia. Just how the Don keeps mentioning family, it just gives the sense that something is going to go really wrong between the Don and Enzo. Enzo, who is the main character of this game. Now in this trailer, he asks Enzo questions like, are you ready to be committed into the Mafia life? He doesn't exactly say it like that, but that's the underlining theme of what he's saying. And then he asks Enzo, will you be loyal? And of course, in the moment, Enzo's like, obviously, I'll be loyal, yes. Because in that moment, obviously, Enzo's just really excited to be a made man. He was about the Mafia life. But something down the road will happen that will start changing Enzo's thoughts. Now, the most plausible scenario will be that Enzo falls in love with this woman. Now, this woman is rumoured to be the Don's daughter. It's not been confirmed by Hangar 13 or 2K, but the most likely scenario is that she will be the Don's daughter. Now, the Don will be the father of this woman. That's what I'm assuming, and Enzo entering into a relationship with her. Now, in the Mafia, you can't just do that. Of course, Enzo will become a made man and gain a lot of respect in the family, but you can't just pick around and choose who you will fall in love with in the Mafia. Well, maybe you can to a sense, but you can't just go around and start a relationship with the Don's daughter. And from what it seems like, it feels like these two will go behind the Don's back and start a relationship. Now, this plausible storyline has some similarities to the original Mafia and the Mafia remake, where Tommy Angelo, the main character, he goes and starts a relationship between Sarah. And at the start it's fine, but then that brings his life into jeopardy, and of course his real life. And spoiler alert, obviously Tommy dies at the end of the game. But that just shows you that Tommy was willing to go that extra step for Sarah. Now the question will be, will Enzo be ready to do the same thing? Will he go that extra step for this woman? Or will he kind of push back and not really challenge the Mafia? Now you have to remember, Enzo does have a lot to thank the Mafia for. Before the Mafia came along and before Don Torresi came along, Enzo was going through a lot of hardship. He used to be mining as a kid and going through a lot of hard work. So he was having to do a lot of hard work. He had no family, he was an orphan, you have to remember that. So the Mafia becomes his family. And I'm assuming he gets really invested into the Mafia life, finally having a family, finally having a purpose to stand for. So Enzo will be really grateful to the Mafia for everything. But I still think he will betray the Mafia. Now I'm going to play some parts of the trailer, and if you see in this trailer this scene, it seems like the Enzo and the girl are going behind everyone's back. You see them holding hands here, and then you see Enzo really tensed out with the gun. Now it seems like Enzo's in a real hard situation here. Now this could be unrelated, but it seems like maybe the Torresi family is after Enzo. Could just be Enzo having paranoia and hearing things, or just assuming something's going on. But the look on his face, it shows that he's really scared. Something's about to happen. It does feel like the Don's after him and the associates are coming. So from everything I'm gathering, it does seem like Enzo will fall deep in love with this woman. Now I feel like most of this, it will start in the middle point of the game. After Enzo comes out of a rough childhood, slowly he will start this relationship between this woman and him. But it'll start really heating up towards the final act of the game. In the final act of the game, Enzo will start asking himself questions like, should I run away with this girl? And they might even try and escape. They will certainly try and escape the Mafia life, how Tommy did and how Sarah did. But then again, we could see the total opposite happen. We could see this woman being killed and Enzo being killed. So there's so many different possibilities. We could even have just the woman get killed and then Enzo goes out for revenge in the final act of the game. So you'll see Enzo going against Don Torresi and the associates. You have to remember with Enzo, he won't have anyone like Tommy Angelo had. I mean in terms of like the FBI or anything. Because the FBI wasn't really aware of the Mafia around this time. The Mafia was really underground, really low key. And Enzo doesn't seem like someone who will go to the FBI Enzo seems like the type of character who will just keep everything with himself and the woman and just try and figure out a solution. Now, if that solution seems like killing the Don, whatever that solution is, Enzo will figure it out. Because like I've said, I feel like he will be deeply invested with this woman. He'll do anything for this woman. I'm not gonna lie, from the trailer he seems like a guy who will get love struck. You see this woman and then you see Enzo being starstruck. Now, I don't think it's related, but it does give the idea that Enzo will get starstruck when he sees this girl. Now let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think Enzo will fall heads over heels for this girl, or maybe she won't even be that much of an important part of the story?